price of 25.7 CNY this week, which means that the W bottom's reversal will be complete, which is indicating that a further price increase. Understand? And another thing which is looking at today's daily chart, it has already broken through the neckline, right? Do you guys remember where's the neckline? This is the neckline and it's already broken through. So it's already starting its upward channels, which means that successful subscribers will see further gains. And earlier, China announced that subsidies, take a look at here, okay? China announced that subsidies for consumer replacing home appliance. This policy is now showing results in richer sales with applications like having high energy efficiency benefiting the most, right? And among industry leaders, Haier is one of the top choices. Favored by media, right? And it is expected that overall sales in the fourth quarter will benefit the most. And on top of that, today, home appliance stocks like Gree, electric appliance, media, Haier, all have seen varying degrees of the increase. As you can see, it increased, right? So for this to expand its shares in developed countries and achieving high growth in emerging markets, Haier has issued a direct shares placement of 1.021 billion shares, which is raising 12.5 billion in CNY for its smart home appliance products, right? Production and also their overseas factories constructions. Now, the private placement price was how much? Do you guys remember? 12.25 CNY. And as you can see, from 12.25 CNY and today it closed at here. This is the amount. It closed at 26.11 CNY. Which means that the whole profits right now is 113%. And our target price, which is going to be 27 CNY, which is going to be very soon. All right. And Haier these companies is leveraging products and marketing strategies to meet the demands of young users. And they are going to achieve a rapid growth. And with their retail sales was up 31% in the first half of the year. And Haier market shares in air conditioners continue to keep on increase, and its kitchen appliance shows steady growth. And the sales in the Middle East and Southeast Asia are also rising. So from the first half of the year, the shares growth in China was 2%, right? And while the growth in overseas markets was 4%. And for Europe, it went up 7%. Australia and New Zealand at 9%. And for Southeast Asia, it's 10%. And South Asia is 10%. Okay, now Southeast Asia is 12%. And for Japan, it's 2%. So with the US rates boosting consumption, sales are expected to continue growing in the second half of the year, right? So given all this policy and the performance of the growth factors, the stocks is expected to continue to rise to our target price. All right, everyone understand this part? All right. If yes, give me some response. All right, give me some response. Okay, very good, very good. I see all your response. All right, and for today premium stocks in the SSE markets is one of our familiar good friends, which is 002693 Hainan Shuangzhen, right? And last week, we have already made 20% profits on these stocks. And today marks the fourth consecutive limit up of 002693, Hainan, right? This company, do you guys remember? All right, and this time is on the fourth consecutive limit up. All right, and as mentioned last week, this company is planning to acquire Nimble Aura Semiconductors. So according to the proposed transaction, Hainan Swanchens intends to raise matching funds from no more than 35 specific investors. And for the issue price is 3.86 CNY, which is 97% discount compared to the current market. So this acquisition is expected to facilitate the company's strategy transformation and also enabling it to focus on development of analog and mixed signals chip. And also another thing, following the completion of this transaction, the listed company will expand its analog and mixed signals chip business and effectively broaden its profit source and increase its overall asset scale. So this is the key factors behind its consecutive limit up. Understand? Because of this is why it is keep on hitting limit up. And with the news-driven rally and also institutional funds are pulling up the stock price up, we have enhanced our market's value and also dimensional influence amongst partners and also amongst our institution through the phase 2 of our premium trading, right? And this is also the reason why in phase 3, currently in our bonus plan, we are laying the groundwork of premium stocks trading as the first leg of the rally, right? I have mentioned this to all of you as well. And have you guys noticed that in the past, with stocks like, for example, like our Shenzhen Huajiang, right? And also the Concern Technology, both these, we will only obtain the shares after several consecutive limit up. We don't go enter on the first entry, right? And right now, we have already increased our influence. We can participate in more core institution trades and earning higher profits and having a greater operations flexibilities, right? And this is something our scholars will experience in the future trades. Okay, come back to this one. Now, Hainan Swanchens source of broaden construction today, right? And if the dense accumulations of bottom shares, understand, and the upper part forms a, as you can see here, what does it mean? This is share vacuums, where there is space, no shares available. So that's why it goes up and hits the limit up, which is indicating that significant room for further upwards movement. All right? If you understand this point, please give me a response. Please give me a response in the comment. All right. Okay, now let's take a look at the new IPO available for subscription tomorrow. And on SSE market, there is a new IPOs and Chinex available for subscription tomorrow, which is Chanliang New Material Technology. Okay, here let me just highlight it for you. All right, now with the code of 301618. Okay, now this company's the issuing is 16.11 million shares at the price of 21.12 CNY, all right, issuing 16.1 million shares, and the price is 31.12 CNY per shares. All right, and subscription and allocation can be made on September 19, 2024, which is tomorrow, all right? And for this company, it is expert in research and development, and they are specialized in production as well. They are specialized in sales printing materials as well as the R&D design and the sales of printing equipments. So its products are mainly used in textile printing industry. And the company shows a very strong performance in market shares and brand influence. So as you can see now here, from January all the way to June this year itself, the company achieved operating revenue of 296.68 million in CNY, which means that it's an increase of 8.73% increase compared to the same period last year. And the net profit was 43.77 million CNY, which is also an increase of 1.84%, ensuring an improvement in profitability and the business performance compared to the same period as last year. So again, the company is expected to operating revenue to about January all the way to September is to between around 414.32 million in CNY, in between to 440.22 million in CNY, which means that it's an increase all the way from 7.7% up to 14.43%. Compared to the same period last year, which means that it keep on increasing, right? So, in the recent year, as the economic friendliness of water-based printing base, right, has been increasingly recognized by the market, and more downstream companies have already begun to adopt this water-based printing paste. Now, the promising developments outlooks of downstream application industry guarantees that the market growth potential for water-based printing paste. And for now, currently, China plans increase their demands on listed company technologies and the R&D capabilities. And against the backdrop of the growth enterprise markets of Chinex, its listed standard align with more those of science and technology innovations boards. Understand? So, which means that listed companies are generally required to maintain their R&D expenses above 5%. And another thing which is have a high annual R&D expenditures to strengthen their industry competitiveness. Understand? So, at the same time, due to these rapid changes in downstream consumer demands within the industry, driven by iterations of end consumer requirement and for the textile printing process, for the materials, for the quality, this company challenge new material technologies needs to continue increase its R&D investments, right, to maintain their market shares. So, additionally, through this IPO, this company plans to raise 398 million in CNY, which is to fund the constructions of a project producing 15,000 tons of eco-friendly water-based printing paste annually. So the constructions of an eco-friendly water-based printing paste production base and the establishments of the headquarters and for the R&D centers. So that's why the plan is to increase their production base and the establishments of headquarters and R&D. Clear? Now, and also to increase production capacity by about 27,800 tons, and which means that a growth of 70%. And based on the issue price, the price earning ratios, industry growth prospects, and the performance, all these, the estimated increase on the first day of the listing is around 120% for this company. I was there, 120%. So scholars who are interested, you guys can subscribe and participate for the allocation tomorrow. All right? But remember this, scholars can apply based on your own circumstances, okay? And the allocations will prioritize high net worth scholars who already actively and seriously commit. So as the allocation of new shares in China is ultimately is a I could say is that it's a ultimate weapon spell. You guys to maximize the profits of an investment banks and also of institution and of course for you all as well. So the allocation quotas we can secure is actually limited. And since the allocation quotas for new shares is limited, allocations are made through an application review process. And it's on first come, first served basis, all right? And the allocation is by funds priority and time priority. So scholar with the more funds will likely to receive a larger allocation. All right? Scholars who understand this, please give me a response. Okay, I saw someone say, some scholars say still a little bit like it. So bear with us for a while. And if you're really having lagging, try to refresh it first, all right? Okay, now, since this company, just now that I mentioned, Shangling New Materials Technologies, right? It has a core textile printing technology, and its profit potential may be not as high as the wireless media, but we also can use group subscription and max subscription to allow more scholars to get a share. All right, and for some new IPOs, we may reach out of we may reach our profit target on the very first day of the listing, and then we can sell it immediately for profits. But of course, other times that others IPO may have further upwards potential, so that we can continue to hold on and wait for more gains, and which is allowing everyone to profit even more. All right. Okay, remember to contact our assistant if scholars are interested, okay? Okay, now here, let me share again to all of you, why do new stocks IPOs see a very huge increase? Why? Because both institution and retail investors are highly active in new stocks placement, which is the IPO, right? With significant capitals involved in it. So that's why it can increase by a lot. And on the very first day of listing, a rise is almost guaranteed. I could say a rise is almost guaranteed. And we can see that from this whole chart, right? And this is the first day. All right, let me just highlight it better. This is one of the first day of the listing. So, and as you can see for the silicon microelectronics, it's went up by 53.69% on the very first day, right? And this EV tech, it went up by 292%, which is in a very good increase, right? And as you can see here, for this 301586, this company, it went up by 244.33%. It rose, right? The advanced composite technology rose by 244%. So again, have you all noticed that on the stocks of growth enterprise market, Chinex, how to see Chinex, how to see stocks that are in Chinex? I mentioned to all of you before, okay? it starts from 3. Then it's on the growth enterprise market, Chinex. And as you can see, you can notice that growth enterprise markets, Chinex tends to have a higher gains, right? Such as like this, and this, right? These 300 something, 200 something, 200 something. And eventually this not yet, right? So this is because China policy supports technological innovations. So, and stocks with a lower issue price tends to rise more than those with a higher issue price. I have already explained this as well, right? And beside the issue price, we also should consider the valuation. This is also very important. And stocks related to policy supports from the China government typically experience substantial increase. It will increase by a lot if the government supporting, right? So over the past 2 years, there hasn't been a company similar to 301551 Hebei Broadcast Wireless Media listed. And the number of new stock subscription has decreased, which means that it is increasing their rarity. And again, for example, like this 301611, right? The common text issue price was at, as you can see, this one, the issue price was at 8. So when its issue price was at 8, which means that its issue price is low, and it gains 368.25%. So which means that 368% on just the first day, and rising 3.6 times from the issue price. Everyone, imagine what a 3.6 times means. It's like waiting a year to see that much growth in the stocks, right? But fail IPO stocks in China in these growth sectors in China next, it can achieve this in just on their debut, which means that on their first day of listing, right? Some people, they are dreaming to achieve 368% in 1 year, also cannot achieve, right? But for this IPO, if you get selected, you are able to achieve 368% on just first day listing. You see the difference there? And for new stock subscription, now are currently popular, and popular attracts more capitals, right? And further fueling the influx into a new stocks market. And for tomorrow, 301551 GB Broadcast Wireless Media and also 688615 Instincts Information will announce their lottery result. So with listing expected around at September 26th, and time is actually moving very fast, and we can accelerate our profit through multiple new stock subscription IPOs. And as you know, making money is relatively easy in bull markets, right? It's easier in bull markets than in bear markets. And with many of the stocks rising over 3 times. And currently, the China new stocks markets is in a bull market. And of course, we should make the most of these opportunities when we are in a bull market. Well, every stocks we deploy will make money. That's definitely. The overall success rates can reach 98%. And right now we are focusing on US, Malaysia, China markets, which means that when US market is uncertain, then we can primarily focus on Malaysia and China markets. And when US stocks market have capitals buying opportunities, we also can increase our efforts and capitals in US dark pool trading. And this kind of approach you guys can verify it over the time. We are doing very well in this, right? So investment should always align with market trends. By following our online class, all our scholars should understand this, right? You can continuously enhance your stocks knowledge and to improve investment certainty and also the stability of investing, and ultimately achieving a significant returns. So as we enhance our stock skills and also enhance our investment expertise, we need to adopt a forward-looking perspective and a broad vision. And we should be proactive in seizing market opportunities and deploy resources where the profit potential is high and effectively use advanced trading tools to maximize our profit, right? And you need to not only get a head start, but also learn to ride the wave of the times and stay ahead of most people. So I'm a person at action. When opportunities arise, I take immediate action without hesitation. And of course, I hope all my scholars are the same. Whether it's in investment opportunities or even in your career opportunities, you must always seize it as soon as you notice there is opportunities, right? Because opportunities don't often come. And if you're missing them repeatedly, you will only widen the gaps with others. The rich will always seize every opportunity to climb higher. And for our 410% returns, it wasn't achieved in a single goal, right? But through seizing multiple opportunities. All right? Okay, understand. All right, if I understand, give me some response. All right. Now, okay, right now we are coming to our part four. And for today, part four, we are going to talk about institution joint layout process to set up to break out the pattern trading tactics. What is the breakout pattern tactic trading tactics? Okay, let me share. Now, when institution wants to work together, and when institution wants to work together, which means that they are joint layout strategies, right? And when these joint layout strategies is actually divided into four different teams based on the different levels of market operations and functional needs, right? Like for example, in football fields, there are front players, they are midfielders, right? And they are defenders. So this is what we are saying: level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. And there's goalkeeper as well, right? So the deployment arranged for example like level 4 is as follows. They operate multiple stocks simultaneously and leveraging their capital's advantage to lock in floating shares on the market. Okay, now let me share a little bit the whole operational advantages. Why it is best to work together. And because first thing first, enjoy the best deployment through the entire process, especially by initially collecting a large amount of low position shares, which minimize overall operational costs and maximize profit potential, right? And also, another one which is operates 3 to 5 stocks, which is using capital advantages to first buy stocks to reserve the shares and creating a momentum for the main force in the operations. And this makes, I'm talking about level fair team, okay? And this makes the level fair teams a core force in the early stage of shares accumulations, which means when they want to buy the shares, when they want to enter the shares, they have to accumulate first with the lower shares cost and the highest safety margins. Understand? And the expected profit for single stocks is over 80%. So based on the market condition for institution stocks, the primary focus is short to all the way to mid-term operations. Understand? All right, now take a look at here. Take a look. All right, let's go through it together. Take a look. Okay. Now each team run. Okay. Now each teams should each game stress acquisition amount and timing varying according to capital size, right? And affecting their profitability. And here is the details operation plan. Okay, now first let's talk about level 4D. Level 4 stream is strictly use shares as the main force in the early stage to building position, like just now I mentioned. And if reserve shares fell the rushing phase and orderly exit during the rise and distribution sell-off phase. All right, and then we come to level 3 teams. Level 3 teams, the main force is building position, washing up, and rising for multiple institutional stocks with the orderly exit during the rising pull-up phase. Clear. And then level 2, involved in some mid-stage and late-stage building and early-stage rising efforts, which is mainly providing counterbalancing power. And this is a very important thing, counterbalancing power. And then we go to level 1 thing, which is enhanced trading activities and the popularity in the early and also the mid-rising stage. Coordinating tasks directly across different phases and deploying flexibility. Okay, now we talk about this. There is also another thing that we need to talk about, which is the risk control requirement. Now, first thing first, they have to follow orders and listen to instruction. This is definitely. And second thing, operates capitals according to specified entry rules that they agree upon, right? And thirdly, complete entry and exit operations within the designated time. They have a time frame which they need to complete. They need to complete, let's say 3 months, for example, or 1 month or half a year. So they have a time to complete as well. So as we know that we are in an era of where traffic is the king. And to capture market shares in the Asia Pacific region, Dimensional needs to have a significant popularity and market influence. With such a significant market impacts and popularity, we will achieve substantial fame and profits, right? So modern business is not just about immediate gains, but also a long-term planning. Networking equals to financial collection. And this is why in phase 4 of our elite training plan, we will expand our networks and prepare for the 5th online class. Understand? And in institution joint strategies, the profitabilities of different teams and their positions in deployment action are very, very important. It's like similar to playing football, right? The game is complex and with large fields and many players. But if everyone is in the front, how can the team win, right? So each player's position on the field is distinct, and each player has different roles and responsibility, right? And by dividing into different teams and deploying appropriate tactics, the goal is create two harmonious and well-coordinated of a whole. The most important is to expanding institutional probability through joint layout deployment, and it has to be well coordinated. Understand? What if a football team and the goalkeeper is on the front of the front as the field? That couldn't happen, right? All right, understand? Then give me some response. All right, and now, just now we talked about breakout patterns trading tactics, right? So, how can we identify institution trends in movement in the market? This is through systematic studies of breakout trading patterns tactics, which is through this one, right? And all right. Okay, and the persistless pinpoint the buying and selling point in the main force of the share market trends operations. And this is also helping to assessing the intention behind institution actions like the accumulation phase, the washing out phase, the pulling price up, rising phase, rally phase, right? And then to the last part, which is the sell off distribution phase. So, which is essential for preparing of the phase well for our elite trading plan systematic traders training. Understand? All right, and take a look at here. The core idea of the share breakout patterns trading tactics. Okay, and look at this. Let's go through it together. Okay, during our upward trends in the stocks, if the large green candle with a rise of over 5% suddenly appear and breaking through the stock's historical resistance level, or even an important resistance level to reach a new high, and if the trading volume at the stock's bottom gradually increase, then we can buy in small batches at the lower price of the day. Right? Makes sense. Now, if the stock's price open higher the next day, buy in alignments with the trends again. And if there is no pullback for consolidation, wait for the stock's price to return up to the 50% area of the previous large green candles before buying in. Understand? If, let's say, this is the all right. Let me. Oh, okay. Now, if this is the whole pale green candle, buy it when it's 50% back down, 50%, and buy in the middle, at least of this area. Understand, right? So, and also set a stop loss as the historical or the important resistance level. Understand? Now, here got an example. Okay. Now, take a look at this one. It already mentions, as shown as in this chart, the stocks has reached a buying point, and the buying point and a breakout, which is here, right? Which is right here, right? So when it breaks out, a large green candlestick has broken through the significant resistance level. This is the resistance level. This is the resistance level, right? So when it breaks through the resistance levels and pushing the stock price to a new high, and eventually this is a new high, and the trading volume has increased from here all the way increased, right? From the bottom has also increased, and this indicates that the main force has finished accumulating at the bottom as beginning to pull up the stock price. As you can see, it beginning to pull up the stock price if institutions are ready to start the main uptrend, right? And that's how we talk about breakout. This is a breakout, right? And this is what we call a breakout, which means that a stock often fluctuates up and down with a certain price range over a time. And as this fluctuation continues, it will form a specific price patterns, and commonly known as resistance platforms, right? And during the formation of these prices, a new momentum is always often brewing in and leading to an upwards breakout from this resistance platform. So when a breakout happens, which means that when the price patterns have formed and passed it, understand? All right, understand? Then put understand in the comment. Okay, everyone, bear with me a lot more, right? Because just now there's issue of the lagging and we have some delay. So that's why we are a little bit late. So but now take a look at this one. The green and the red lines represent the earlier trend, right? And by comparing their quantities, and we can gauge that the current market environment. And as you can see here, shown in this chart, it mentions in a healthy uptrend. The most obvious characteristic is that the number of the green lines significantly exceed the number of the red lines. So with large upwards movement and a small pullbacks, our strategies should be buy on dips. Understand? Very clear, very straightforward, which means, right? Which means that once an uptrend is established, a few days of pullbacks represent a best buying point. Clear? Now, on the other hand, this one, when we talk about downtrend, this is an uptrend, right? And this is an downtrend. So when giving a downtrend, the most apparent features is that the number of the red lines greater surpass the number of the green lines, right? And with the large declines and the small rebounds, our strategies should be reduce position on rallies. And again, after a downtrend is established, a few days of rebound represent the best selling point. All right? Okay, as you can see here, now the length of the candlestick's body represent the strength momentum, right? And as soon as these charts, these stocks experience a significant upwards trend, right? Following a breakout with a large green candlesticks, right? And this is, let me just highlight it in the line. And this is a breakout. It's not as straight as it, okay? Now take a look. When the green candlesticks bodies become progressively longer, it indicates that upwards momentum of the stocks is growing stronger and increase the likelihood of continued price increase, right? And at this point, you can either sell up to your position or wait for further gains or buy in line with the trend. And continuous small bullish candlesticks often leads to a large bullish move, and which is signals to consider following the trend with potential substantial returns. And usually this happens, as you can see, a large candlestick, and this typically happens either at the bottom of a downtrend or during an uptrend. All right. And another thing here, take a look at this. This is the opposite, right? And this stocks experience significant downtrend. It's a downtrend, right? So when it experiences a downtrend following a breakout with a large red candlesticks, and this is the breakout of the last candlesticks, like when the red candlesticks bodies become progressively longer, it indicates that the downwards momentum of the stocks is strengthening and increase the likelihood of continuous decline. And at this point, it's wise to sell decisively and exit the position. Right? And if there's a small red candlesticks at the top, a large red candlesticks is likely to follow. Understand? All right? Give me some response if understand. All right, and take a look at this one. The longer the upper shallows of the candlesticks, the heavier the selling pressure, and indicates a stronger potential of a downwards reversal. So therefore, when a longer upper shallows appears, cautious is warranted, and especially if there has been a significant price increase as the probability of a peak is high. So it's advisable to sell in this scenario. All right? And in these cases, it's better to stay on the sideline and wait for clear direction. If the trend is eventually moved upwards, then consider buying the stocks in line with the trend. Otherwise, be bearish. Clear? All right, that concludes tonight's discussion. And for tomorrow, Thursday evening, we will be arranging dark pool trading for US stocks market, and with a location based on appointment priority, funds priority, and time priority. All right. And additionally, scholars who are interested in tomorrow SSE IPOs you all can contact the assistant to arrange for subscription. Understand? And at 8 p.m. on Thursday, you'll be discussing the important strategies for foreign capital flow into Asia's market. All right? That's it.